It's time for the Steve and Kyle podcast with Kyle.
Come on in, Julie. Don't mind what this buffoon says, yes or no. Go get the sketch pad and the camera. And then yell at me if I move too much. I said stand still, idiot. No wonder your heart quit on you. Big dumb box of blood.
And Steve.
Well, I mean, it depends. There's a tech rider, so the technical specifications.
Chris, I can't imagine even the tech people care.
I need HDMI plugs.
Of course, no, I get it. You filled out a sticky note with surge protectors and HDMI cables. No, you know what? I'm comfortable saying.
Couple microphones.
I'm comfortable saying our audience does not give a about what's on the tech rider.
Now, here they are, two guys who are living in style, Steve and Kyle.
Welcome.
Well, I mean, how did that thing go, Steve? How did you?
Your mic sounds weird.
You think so?
I think you're talking into the wrong side of it again.
I'm talking right into the front.
Yeah, it sounds weird. It sounds very muffled.
Well, I told you, I think there's something wrong with that mixer today. It sounded a little bit funny before we started recording. Is this any better?
That's a little bit better, yeah.
Okay.
Kind of talking into like the bottom front of it.
Just really, I guess the key then is I need this microphone to touch my nose.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
There we go.
Good.
Yeah,
Glad
much better. Much better.
I mean, is my line of sight the same? No, but it's fine. It's fine. I mean, I love looking over the top of this mount.
Yeah.
How did everything go last week? Was the live show a raging success? Was my fathead there?
The live show was a raging success. I do not remember seeing the fathead in attendance, though. I don't think it made it. Is it? Where is the fathead currently? Is it?
It is supposed. It has been shipped from our friend Dr. Johnny,
DJ Dr. Johnny,
to our friend, I believe Jeff Green in Wilkes-Barre was on deck. So I should reach out to Jeff to make sure he's received that because it was shipped.
Right, because if he didn't, I mean, we have to really spring into action.
Now we're up against it. Yeah. So yeah, as of this past Monday, so almost a week ago, Steve.
Oh, it should be there.
Our friend Dr. John.
I'm sure it's been there for 3 days at this point.
Yeah, has shipped it off, and it looks like the exact same packaging that it was shipped to him in, which is beautiful, the way it should be.
I would not want him. Now, did he sign the back of it? Did we?
I don't know if he was allowed to, because he didn't do anything with it outside of let my cardboard eyes watch him and his wife make furious, copious love.
In their marital bed.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's deserved of his signature on the back. I did tell him, though, that when you guys ever come back around towards Southwest Michigan, he would be on deck, and we would then, cover the cost to get the fathead to him and from him again.
Well, we'll see about that.
But it went well, you said.
It went very well. Yeah,
okay.
It was a great time, a rousing good time.
I mean, you know me. I hate to be... I don't like the attention.
Of course.
What?
Hate it.
Any mentions of the podcast? Any merch? Any? Hey, love the podcast. Any?
There were a lot of people there. There could have been a shirt somewhere. I didn't see it. That just means that the wearer of the shirt wasn't working hard enough to get up on stage.
So it's in the hometown here, and couldn't get one lick of merch. Couldn't get one mention.
Yeah, no. Not one. Well, I mean, technically, we were close to our hometown because our home base is technically a 5-block radius of my house.
That's a good point.
So this was a road show.
Yeah, the fans would have had to commute at that point. And by fans, I, of course, mean your neighbors.
Yeah.
Okay. That's great. Do you have any update on your friend, the work thief, union worker, tech guy? What was his name? Blitzen?
Dancer.
Oh, Dancer. I'm sorry.
Dancer.
I confused him with another of Santa's reindeers.
Got the wrong reindeer. Dancer was there.
Okay.
Oh, man.
It was still
great.
not retired.
Great to see him.
He's been lying for years now.
He has. Yeah. He was like the first person I saw when I walked in, and he came up and he gave me a big hug, and I said, I am so happy to see you.
So, did you get... Dancer just seems like the type of guy, again, working random gigs at this music hall.
Yeah.
And who, during conversation, is going to, a lot of times, casually drop references. Well, you know, if the old lady doesn't kick my ass... You know, oh, I got to get out of the house. You know what it's like with the old lady at home.
The old ball and chain.
That's the kind of guy that Dancer seems like
absolutely
to me.
Is, and I love that man. He is, he's an amazing dude, and he's just one of those guys that has worked in like the audio producing sound industry forever. So he's like been on tour with a bunch of bands and everything, and. It was a blast. It was good to see him. He had a couple more good stories for us, but he insisted that he was retired.
Oh, sure, yeah. But, I mean, at this point, what evidence do you have to not believe him?
Right, yeah. He said that the reason he was there that night is because the guy who took over for him when he retired.
Yeah.
He got a gig. He was out on the road with some band for a month or so. So he told them he would come back and fill in while the new guy was out on the road chasing his dreams. And couldn't have worked out better for us because we love him, love to see him, and it was wonderful.
I just feel like Dancer's retirement happens when he dies plugging in your HDMI cable.
Right. Like that's his dying breath is like
because I don't understand. I think it's a generational thing. People that age and of that age bracket, I guess, are those same people who say, well, I'll retire, but then 6 months later they need to get themselves a part-time job.
Yeah.
And I was just talking about this yesterday. That is not me.
No, not me at all.
I have just enough hobbies and things I like to do and want to try to do.
I want to retire now and not do anything. Like I'm 41.
Do you know almost. How much
I'm in my mid
30s,
mid to late 30s, and I am ready for retirement. The thought of working 25, 30 more years just blows my mind. I don't want that.
I know, and I think about, boy, I'd love to golf on a Tuesday at 8:30.
Maybe a Wednesday at 7 p.m.
Yeah, and then go and have a drink whenever I want to, and have to not worry about one being judged and two having things to do.
Yeah.
Want to go watch a movie at 11:15 on a Thursday? Mm-hmm. Just right there, we've got our Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday filled right out.
Yeah.
This is one of the oldest.
By the way, we're going to hit the links at all.
I think we are. Okay. I've told myself for 2 years.
I mean, I got nothing going on this summer.
No, you're fine. Like you said, you're the old bread maker, bread winner. Bread maker would be different.
But yeah, I'm not.
Would you rather be the bread maker or the bread winner?
It's one for the polls.
What in this scenario? What would the bread maker be? I guess
a baker.
Obviously, I would
simply be a baker.
A baker, okay.
Yeah.
So literally somebody making probably $14 an hour.
Yeah.
Baking bread.
I don't know. I think you probably make more than that as a
maybe
as a breadsman. Breadman.
I think breadsman.
Breadsman, yeah, because you make multiple kinds of breads.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not just dialed into one bread. Steve, before this gets any worse, and I hate to interrupt where we were headed, I have decided to take the plunge this morning.
Oh boy,
kind of against my will.
Yeah. Oh, this is I know exactly where you're heading with this.
And I walked in, and I actually texted on the way because I know your wife's an adult, and so I texted you and said, "Would your wife like anything from the local coffee shop?" But I knew as for the past probably 100 weeks, you've had a mug of tea.
Yeah,
at your side.
I was surprised, but also not surprised when you said which local coffee shop you were going to, because of course you would go to that one and not the one that everyone else goes to.
Well, that one was on the way. That's the reason I offered. I wouldn't have to get out of the car. And two,
I guess depending on which way you're going.
I take kind of the main road through town here, and it's right there.
Yeah.
So that was because normally, not normally, I kind of lean towards this. Whichever place I can order on my phone and have it ready, or I don't have to speak it out at the, you know, they kind of know, because
zero communication is the goal.
For me, I want to be able to essentially give a couple finger movements, and I'm leaving with my coffee.
Yeah, the final finger movement, of course, being the middle finger as you drive away.
As I tear away, leaving no tip.
Seldomly paying for your
I canceled on the app, suckers! And then peel out.
Right, or you're also a guy that even if the interaction goes completely smooth and they say, hello, sir, here's your coffee, and hand it to you, and it's exactly like you wanted, the right temperature, perfect taste, you still complain just so you can get that coupon for a free one.
I despise, you can see those people, you hear those people at restaurants, and I'm not the guy where if the food is if it's entirely wrong, I understand it. But when, in those restaurants, and I don't know how many of them are, where if you get a steak and you cut into the steak in front of the person, cringeworthy. Yeah. Absolutely cringeworthy, because you're always sitting near a table where somebody came to this budget steakhouse.
Yeah.
Right? Because they may do that at the upscale ones, but I don't know. I haven't been there. But at these budget ones where you're paying, you know, it's not cheap, but I'm just saying, if you're paying $14 for a steak compared to, you know, the super
$68 for a steak. Yeah.
And you cut into it. This filet is a bit pink, and I wanted a little red.
I can't believe that happens at non-upscale restaurants.
Oh, yeah.
I would have never thought that. Like, I would never do that. Because, I mean, they're going to ask me what I want. Like, how I want my, medium or whatever. But I'm never going to cut into it in front of them, or just be like, excuse me, this is a little on the rare side, and I said medium rare.
I think it's another generational thing, because people like my parents will. I think that older group.
Would they complain?
Yeah. I don't know about complain, but they would definitely have it redone.
Send it back?
Yeah.
Like, throw it on for another,
I hate it.
Another 90 seconds?
I hate everything about it.
No.
I'm to the point now where I want so little, one, interaction, and two, issues anywhere I go, that unless I order chicken and you give me a pile of broccoli and fish, I'm generally just going to say, oh well.
Yeah.
And move on. Because it's not worth the hassle of, because then you're in a terrible, awkward spot. Especially if you have your kid, you're always kind of on a time crunch.
Yeah.
But your significant other's meal is ready.
Yep.
What do you do?
Yeah.
Do you have them sit there and stare at their baked potato and their steak, which they're fine with because they didn't bitch and moan? Or do you have them, can you put hers,
under the lamp
and then make her wait? No.
I think that the only time I'll say anything is if they just forgot something. Like if I ordered a steak and a baked potato.
Yes.
And they forgot the baked potato.
Absolutely.
And I would just say that I would, excuse me, I had also gotten the baked potato. Is that? Because then if you say it like that, like the kind of whispering, like almost you're apologizing for it, that's going to put them not on the defensive, and they're going to say, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
It's just coming out of the oven or whatever. Just just finished up with it.
And I think missing food is a totally different category.
Yeah.
It's food you're paying
missing
for.
Missing food is completely different than food cooked wrong.
Yeah. And I'm not saying, listen, if you order a, medium rare or rare steak or whatever at a burger, anywhere, hamburger place, steak place, it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. And it comes out and it's the way I eat it, black or gray.
Oh.
Then okay.
I burned a burger on the grill the other night.
That char, that crunch.
I smelled like it for the rest of the day because it was so burnt. And I still managed to eat it, but it was like crunching as I was eating it. And all I could think of is how you are such an animal for eating your food like that.
So good.
No.
Speaking of things that will stick in your nasal cavity for an indeterminate amount of time. We digress.
Yeah.
You decided to get me a little bit of a treat this morning.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to get to it because it's...
I already am dreading because it's going to be at that weird stage.
No,
where it's not hot.
Hold on.
But it's going to be 75 degrees.
It is so perfect.
I mean this
so perfect.
I mean this genuinely. I've never had tea. I can comfortably say I don't think I've ever smelled tea outside of, the leaves in a little bag, right? Yeah. Tea bag. So I walked in, and I mentioned it last week, and I was really hoping you'd forget.
I know you were, and I did not. I said, doing that, oh, I just remembered Kyle had said this last week.
And you were giddy while you were boiling water.
Yeah.
And you boiled that water, you poured it into the 2 mugs, you even put a dollop of honey on the bottom after I said no thank you.
A little bit of honey.
And then you dumped this bucket of leaves in there. And then you swished it around. Mm-hmm. And you handed it to me in a mug. And not just a mug. The proverbial Steve and Kyle podcast tea mug.
Yeah, I had to let you use that one.
Which came from our friend, was that Betsy Boo? Leanne?
Sure.
It's tea o'clock somewhere.
By the way, can you hold that up? I need to.
Yeah. Should I logo out?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let me get the dangly string thing facing there, too, to let everybody know it is tea.
Okay, now. Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful.
So.
We'll post that.
You handed it to me, and again, this is my very first experience with tea. This smells like a pile of garbage.
Huh.
This smells
it's funny because you took a sniff of it and you said, oh, that smells gross. Like, I can't believe that you drink this all the time. And I said, I don't think I've ever smelled tea before.
Yeah.
It's not it's not like coffee where it's got that that aroma.
It's not, Colombian beans or whatever. No, this is just a bag of leaves that you ground up from your backyard.
Uh-huh.
You put in a little compostable or biodegradable bag, and you call it tea.
So this,
but it legitimately smells, and maybe mine smells different. It smells like compost.
Maybe.
Like it smells like fall after it's rained, and then you try to rake some leaves.
So tea smells like wet leaves.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go ahead and get.
Can you flip that?
I'll flip it out.
Logo out.
I'm actually going to get a
York,
a 2 to 4 year old York on the ready.
Okay.
Kind of like when I was a kid and I would have to take cough syrup.
Yeah, you need a chaser.
Yeah, the deal was, I'll take your cough syrup, Mom, and I'll stop my tantrum, Mom, if I get a cookie immediately. Like, that liquid's not even halfway down my throat, and I'm chasing it with a full Oreo.
All right, I'm going to shoot a quick video of you tasting.
Okay.
This is English breakfast tea.
Boy, if this is what the English drink in the morning. Oh, man, that is just horrid. It's nothing I would ever willingly drink. But I suppose that if Al-Qaeda captured me and said you can only have tea.
Second sip.
That one a little earthier than the first.
Bad.
Well, you know what? A lot to be said for trying new things in life, Steve. And sometimes they suck. No, I didn't know what to expect.
All right. Hey. Cheers.
Cheers.
No. Yeah, you got to pick yours up.
Yeah.
Big sip now.
Set her down. I took 3 sips. Now, if you had a bingo card, 3 sips would have been among the last spots, right? What about 4?
Oh,
no, I can't do it.
You're just tempted fate.
It tastes like it smells. Which is not to say that it's horrid. It is definitely not for me.
Yeah.
Do you have any little razzle-dazzle? Maybe like a Crystal Light packet of blue raspberry or something we could dump in there?
So you want to put blue raspberry Crystal Light in your English breakfast tea with honey? Really
jazz that thing up there.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we could.
Don't mind me.
We could do that.
A little bite of this.
Well, hey, congratulations. Welcome to Tea Team.
Thank you. Yeah, for now.
Your Tea Team?
My late 20s, right?
Right, yeah.
For now, I'm going to stick with coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe when I get to those early to mid 30s that you're about
I'm telling you, it all changes. It all changes.
When did you begin your tea journey, and why? Like, was it just like one day you're because you used to be coffee guy?
I used to be coffee guy.
Not necessarily pot of coffee guy, but
no. But I was drinking too much, so I just said, nope, I don't want this anymore.
Is that work related? So you'd go to the break room at work and constantly fill up your 20-ounce mug. And...
Yeah, I mean, it started out 1 cup a day, but then it quickly turned into like 3-4 cups a day.
Okay,
and I just didn't like it.
Well, you liked the coffee, you just didn't like the way it was treating your body. Probably,
yeah,
right? Did you
because
crash?
I'd kind of crash in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So I just cut it out, and the first couple of days were hell because it was like withdrawal.
Yeah, caffeine withdrawal can be like it's mostly headache related, but it can be not comfortable.
Yeah. So I guess like I said, that was probably 5 years ago almost, and tea has only been within like the last year or two.
Really? I don't
and
know
it was
why.
like, and I would only drink it if I had a sore throat or something, or if I wasn't feeling well, I'd drink it. But then I was like, I don't mind this at all. So for probably the last 6 months, I've been drinking it every single morning.
So you're talking work, home,
yeah.
So I'm scrolling back, Steve, and maybe it's been regular for you for a year. But I have tweets and Twitter from us from September of 2018.
About tea?
Yeah, and not just like us discussing tea, but I was, tea o'clock somewhere. So, the full-fledged you were in.
Yeah.
And then 2021, 2018. The very first post was June 3rd, 2018 from you with just a terrible bland white mug. Boring as can be. Looks handcrafted, probably like by some idiot kid because it's not even perfectly round at the top. Definitely not like this beautifully designed It's Tea O'Clock Somewhere mug that you had sent to you next to a jar of honey. That was 2018.
Yeah.
So it wasn't regular then. Were you still mixing in coffee?
No. I haven't had coffee on a regular basis. I've had coffee about maybe half a dozen times in the last 5 years.
Okay. Does Annette still drink coffee?
Yeah, not a ton.
Okay.
She'll go to
the shops, right?
Yeah, she'll stop there maybe twice a week or so.
Okay.
Especially now that she's pregnant, she's tried to cut it out as much as possible, but still has 1 or 2 cups of coffee a week.
Boy, maybe it's something that grows on you with time, huh? Awful. Genuinely awful. Hey, this has been kind of percolating for a few weeks, Steve, and you brought this up much to my ire.
Oh, that's right. Is that what's up on the? It's up on the Tron?
It is. And it's not as forefront now as it was a few weeks ago. I
believe it is.
We've done...
This is the core of my being.
We have done a little more research, and I don't think this is going to happen just based on the time it is and busy and prices of everything, whatever.
Oh, it's going to happen.
But I told you...
It is going to happen.
...that I made a mistake a couple of weeks ago. And that mistake was... opening the monthly statement that we had never gotten in the mail before, but now they're mailed because banks get bought and sold and whatnot.
Isn't that one of the most annoying things when that happens?
Irritating.
Like I specifically went to your website, like whateverwebsite.com/paperless, and enrolled in paperless billing, so you can send me an email once a week that I will, or once a month
that I can delete,
that I can immediately delete.
Yeah.
But when you send me that paper statement, I feel obligated that I have to do something. Or that something has changed, so I got to call and be like, why did you send me this? And then they say, legally, we have to send you a monthly statement. And I say, well, I enrolled in paperless. And they say, oh, okay, we'll make sure we fix it.
Right.
And then the next month you get 2 from that company.
Yeah, they've doubled it. Well, you still get your statement and then a piece of paper that says you're going to paper statements.
Yeah.
So somehow they got it entirely backward.
Yep. Perfect.
So I had done this, it came in my wife's name, but she just lets it, she'd throw it away. And I was like, I wonder how much is left on her car because she's had it for 4 years or so. Opened it up.
Is that the Range Rover?
That is the big old Range Rover. And I'm looking to upgrade to the Land Rover. So,
of course.
We're trying to squeeze that payment in,
Sure. I mean, it's It's a big jump going from a $2,000 a month payment to a $2,800 a month payment.
You got to budget it. You have to budget it, and I got to tell you, I'm sorry.
Times are tough.
Yeah, and I apologize because we're cutting that budget out of Reed's clothing, and
kids don't need clothes.
No, I mean he's 3.5. 2T fits just fine. And I was a little, so I opened the statement and I was a little bit taken. I said, "Hey, you're pretty low on the how much you owe yet." Because we both have auto payments and we both have it set up for an even dollar amount that's over the minimum.
Right, yeah. So you got a little bit more going to the principal every month.
Yeah. And that was like a light bulb, Steve. For the next few days for sure, but it's been lingering. I'm getting links to cars.
Oh boy, what are you looking at?
And I'm getting links to dealerships and getting asked, on a Tuesday at 6 o'clock, hey, you want to drive out here? They close at 6:30. Do you want to be that person walking in somewhere at 6:25 or 6:58 when they close at 7?
Especially when I know that you're the guy that says, no, don't need any help.
Yeah,
just browsing.
Yes, because they're not going to care. And so I've received links for 2020 and some 2021 Ford Explorers.
Oh, nice. Okay. I know some people who have them. They're very happy with those cars. Yeah. Very nice cars. If I were you, I would jump on that deal. No matter what the deal is, jump on it.
So
get it immediately.
Look,
used car shortage.
And if there's one thing I know about you and your car experience,
buy cars like they're a can of Coke.
You jump. You barely do any research, and next thing you know, you've got some Cajun from New Orleans delivering you a murder Jeep.
I do know a thing or two about buying vehicles sight unseen. So if you need any help, you let me know. If you can get me 4 pictures of that car, I'll tell you if it's a good deal or not.
Well, I was telling you this saga, just that we're looking for cars, and I, not roll my eyes, but anytime you enter that process, right, it's not daunting, but you just know it's never hand them a set of keys, get a new set of keys, pull off the lot, your payment's the same. It's always just a headache back and forth. So we ran some numbers. I said, hey, she'll need to get this much on trade based on what
you're wheeling and dealing
to keep the payment where we are, which is what we want. We don't want our payment to go up anymore on that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of borderline on if she could get that. It would be tight if we did a trade-in. Because, again, I just told you about the, kind of the daunting aspect of going through and trying to sell it. So I told her, I said, just look at trade.
Go back. Go back.
What's that?
Trying to sell it, did you say?
Good.
I don't know if you know this, but you're sitting across this table from a used car selling champion.
Steve, do you want to try to sell my wife's car?
Goddamn right I do.
Because I want nothing to do with it. I am team trade-in at this point in my life.
No, they'll kill you.
You're absolutely, you're giving up probably 15 to 25%, but you're closer to that point where you can just chuck that key to some idiot salesman in the corner, ask him where your new ones are, and you walk out the front door. After you've been upsold on an extended warranty.
Yeah.
And
undercoating,
which, again, is the biggest falsehood in cars based on everything I've heard.
New all-weather floor mats.
That's right.
Kyle. What have I told you? That I could not only sell your car, but that you could make a profit off of it in the process. What have I told you? That any idiot can sell a car, but it takes a real talented idiot to sell it for profit. What have I told you that you could be driving the nicest car on your block by next week? The Steve and Kyle podcast proudly presents Steve is going to rip off some loser and sell him Kyle's old clunker for profit?
Boy, You probably had a bunch of bites on that fish hook you threw until the end.
Oh, man, it's been a while since we've
no
thrown out the ESPN.
I don't mean that. I don't mean you fell apart. I mean the sales pitch where you called the prospective buyers idiots and then the car a clunker.
Well, I mean, come on, look. We got to be honest.
I feel like any car you buy or sell that has had a infant or toddler in it should come with the same warning label that a house comes with if somebody has died in it, that they have to disclose that.
Boy, you are not kidding, man. I cleaned out. I think I talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah, you had the 3-day vacuum.
3-day vacuum quest for the murder Jeep.
Mm-hmm.
And that is by far the second vehicle when it comes to us going somewhere with Evelyn.
Yeah.
Like, the family mobile is Annette's car.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit more room, like easier to get in and out of, especially with the child seat.
Right, the doors don't just come off willy-nilly.
That is very convenient in that case. But yeah, so I mean, it's probably 10-1 that Evelyn is in Annette's car over my car.
Yeah,
and I still like that vacuum sucked up so many kicks.
Oh yeah,
and
there's Cheerios,
pretzels, and Cheerios, and everything. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, you're wondering when the last time you gave her M&Ms was?
I know.
Because there's half a tube underneath your seat.
How's that tea, by the way? Good?
You know, it's just out of reach. So it's... Oh,
man. I'm enjoying mine.
Well, listen, if you want on the case, Salesman Steve, you're more than welcome to. I am confident saying private party... we would be able to get the dollar amount that would need to then get a new car.
Okay, so now give me a timeline here. Do we have to... can her new car be bought before the old one is sold? Or does it have to be...
I'm sure we could make that work. I mean, obviously we don't want something stupid and idiotic like some 14-month layover of having to hang on to this garbage car in the driveway.
It depends on the season.
Have to go find a friend's grandmother's house to put it out front of for a while. That sounds.
It all depends on the season.
Like the biggest idiot move you could possibly make.
Even if you still make a profit?
Yes.
Okay. Well, if that's how you feel.
I told you, I don't want the hassle. I don't want the hassle. I don't want 3 cars in my driveway.
Okay.
You know.
So ideally,
yeah.
Okay. Follow-up question.
Mm-hmm.
Follow-up question.
Yeah. Steve in the back.
Would your family be able to survive on one vehicle for any period of time?
Yeah, we could make
a couple weeks. No. Wouldn't be the most convenient.
No, a couple weeks is a no-go.
So 1 week.
Boy, even 1 week. Now that I think about it, probably not, because a couple days a week my wife has to leave for work in the 6 a.m. hour, 5 a.m. hour, and I have to get Reed to daycare after that.
Isn't that like right down the street? You could walk.
God almighty.
You got that new ticker.
It's like a half a mile.
You got a wagon or something? Is it downhill on the way
there? I got to pull him too.
Is it downhill from your house to the daycare? Stick him in a wagon?
You know what the bummer is? I made the top hill on the way back.
That's true. Maybe you could hitch a ride. Call an Uber?
For the sake to advance this, let's say we could make it work. For let's call it a week.
Okay.
At most. Definitely not 14 months because, again, dirtbag move, garbage people, no chance. Mm-hmm. No way. No how.
Okay.
Not now, not ever.
All right. Now that we got the basics out of the way, let's talk specifics.
Sure.
70-30?
Yeah, I think that's a fair number.
In my direction, obviously.
Obviously. You're doing the work here. So, again, that dollar amount listen, I'll tell you this. Every dollar past the dollar amount we need to trade in or to give to make our payment stay the same is all yours.
All right.
Every dollar over it.
Here's what I'm offering. You just hand me the keys.
Oh, boy.
I will sell this as if it's my car. That way you're not getting messages.
Sure.
You're not getting Rick the idiot from around the corner saying, hey, can I come look at it at 2 a.m.?
Yeah.
No. I'm dealing with all that for you.
Yeah, you're the one up at 1:30 in your boxers, handing the keys out to the goofy second shifter.
Take it away!
So he can zoom through the burbs.
You just give me the title.
Yeah.
So when I sell it, I sign it over to them.
Is that something I should have?
Yeah, most likely. Oh, it's not paid off yet, though, is it?
No, there is still lien on the vehicle.
Okay. All right. That's going to be a little bit of a problem. We're going to go up to 80-20 now.
Yeah, I mean, in my house, we finance.
How very American of you.
Well, I'm sorry. We are 3 deaths shy of being able to pay this thing off in cash.
All right. So it's safe to say that once we get a couple of these details ironed out, I'm your car broker.
Yeah, you are. Listen, you have the experience in this field.
What do I got to do to get you behind the wheel of this car? Imagine if I sold it back to you.
Yeah, I'm just the idiot who pays the going rate for my own vehicle because I need it back so badly.
I make a big profit off of it.
That's right. So for the sake of posterity, let's put the number that we need to pay the bank right at about $4,000.
$4,000. All right. So we need at least. So how much are you looking to get out of this vehicle?
To make the payment for this presumed.
What is this vehicle? Sell me on this vehicle.
Steve, it is a white Ford.
Okay. I might need a little more detail than that.
Yeah, it's a big one. It's got all 4 of the tires.
A white Ford 4-tire.
With the one of those roofs that goes all the way back.
Okay, so it's
the moonroof thing that,
Oh, okay, so it's a full roofed vehicle.
Yeah. Can you believe it? And I don't want to lose you, so I hope are you writing these down?
Yeah, of course. Full roof.
Not 1, not 2, not 3. 4 full-size doors that open with handles that are all functioning.
Okay.
A back gate.
Yeah.
That opens by touch.
All right, so it's some kind of SUV.
Yeah, it is a Ford Edge.
Ford Edge.
Yeah, and if you're going to ask me the SSE, XLTs, i4s, i6s.
You got leather in that thing? Have you ever been in the vehicle?
Yes. There are leather heated seats.
What year is this thing?
2016.
How many miles on it?
64,000.
I'd be interested. How much are you looking to get?
Well, I would need
$4,000
to put down to keep our payment the same for this next vehicle that Katie has been looking at.
Right.
I would need $15,000 in equity to put down.
So what's that mean?
That's a total of about $19,000.
Dollars?
That's American.
I was ready to offer you the $4,000 that you needed to pay it off.
Out the door?
Out the door. Look, I'll undercoat it for you.
Oh my God! Well, hang on. If you throw in, an upgraded Sirius XM package,
no,
for a
terrestrial radio is where it's at.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. I did not mean to offend.
Yeah, the Bluetooth feature on the radio is going to be disabled, so you can only listen to AM, FM broadcasts.
And you've
as God intended it.
You've so mangled the antenna, you can only listen to the middle portions of the dial.
Right.
You can't listen to the top or bottom ends.
92.4.
That's right. 92.5, the Jesus. I can't get it on my way into work today.
All right. So I got to get $19,000 out of this clunker for you, huh?
Yeah.
So I'll post it for $29,000.
Of course. Well, yeah, that's where the haggling starts, right?
Right.
I think you posted at $29,000 on Facebook, but then I think a nice trick, Steve. Like 6 hours later, you go in, you slash that price down to $25 or $24.
So it
because then it shows that you've reduced the price.
Yeah, price cut.
You got people on. They think you're the sucker.
Yeah, they think I'm desperate.
So they offer you $20, and they're like, "Oh, there's no way this idiot will ever accept $20. He had this thing for $29 2 days ago."
Yep.
And then you're following some weirdo to the bank, waiting outside in the parking lot for a cashier's check.
Mm-hmm.
And again, every penny over that $19,000
is mine.
All yours.
Boy, I'm in. 100%. You give me the VIN number. I'll take a couple pictures. We'll get this thing posted.
No murders. It is a murder-free mid-size SUV located in the heart of West Michigan, and I want nothing to do with selling it or trying to.
Yeah, I just may need your signature on something. Or
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it when there's a lien on it.
We can't really do anything until that lien's paid off.
Yeah.
So you can't transfer title until that's paid off, which is...
So you just got to pay it off.
That's one option. I mean,
you got to pay it off, get the title in hand, and then we just back that cash out of the sale.
oh boy, this is getting more. This feels like that Jordan guy from Wolf of Wall Street. Is this somehow some type of scam you're talking about?
Look,
so if I pay the $4,000
one man's
off, I can
scam
then
is
ask
another man's opportunity.
So if I just paid the $4,000 off, I can then ask for $23,000
No,
because we're backing it off of the sales. Is that what that means?
not exactly.
Sounds like I'm making more money here.
I mean, look, if you want to look at it that way, then yes. I'm going to see. What year did you say that thing
That's
was?
a 2016, Steve. That is a 2016 Ford Edge. The one car I sold, I decided I'll never do it again. Private party. Young enough, before I had Reed. So time's a little more free, as you know, and everybody knows who has kids and a family. And I had posted it on all, at that point, the usual suspects, right? The Craigslist. And
Yeah. Would you say that's a crossover?
Sure. No. That's that would
sedan?
be labeled. No, that would be labeled
A wagon.
Yeah, call it a wagon. I think that's what technically on our registration for the state, they list those as a wagon.
A wagon. All right.
So I was selling my, at that time, 2008 Ford Fusion. Mm-hmm. And I was going to sell it private party because obviously, like you said, you get taken for a ride if you trade it in.
Yeah.
Received a message. It must have been through Craigslist. It was an older couple, and they were looking to buy for their daughter. Mm-hmm. So perfect. And the price point that I had it listed for was perfect for a first car that a parent was going to buy for their kid, right? And a nice car.
2016?
Yes. And I met at a local. We live right by a bunch of schools and grocery stores. I met in one of those parking lots.
Public place.
Yep.
Public
they
meetup.
they took it for a ride, and if you ask me, they took it for a little too long. What's the limit? What's your number? If you're doing a private party transaction, you want to go test drive a vehicle.
Boy,
what do you think?
It's going to depend on, because I want to be out on the highway with it for a couple of minutes.
Right. I think that's important. You want to get on the on ramp, the off ramp, and go through
20 minutes.
Okay. This was nearly 40 minutes.
Okay.
I felt it was too long.
What's the zip code?
49428. And they finally came back.
I may jump in with some additional questions.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
You say 64,000 miles.
Yeah. I don't believe they had anything specific, mechanical wrong. I told them, a few of the quirks that you always kind of gain in knowledge about vehicles as you own them and drive them and as you ruin them. They left, said they'll get back with me shortly. They texted me back or emailed me back that evening. Hey, thanks for letting us drive it. My daughter wants a Honda.
Not typically known as a Ford.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't even remember responding, which for me at that age is a true upset because that's typically back then where I would craft a really rude, long-winded retort.
Yeah, like, boy, if only there was a way to tell what kind of vehicle it was before we started this whole fiasco.
I did sell it. I forget to who. I forget, but it did sell. But the headache of that stuff, I will never go through it again.
Question?
Oh, yes, Steve in the front.
Would you say that is an SE Sport Utility 4-door, an SEL Sport Utility 4-door, a Sport SUV 4-door, or a Titanium Sport Utility 4-door?
Let's go with the first one.
Maybe text your wife. Does it say titanium on the back?
It's not titanium. I know for a fact it's not titanium.
Okay. SE or SEL?
I'll go with the SE.
SE is the lowest price.
I would go with the SE.
It has the leather. I think it's going to be an SEL.
Oh, my God. I don't care.
We're going to go that.
It's just remarkable. Ready to burn the car and take the insurance check. But
all right. You want to select your options or price it with standard?
Just price it standard so we can end this.
What color is that thing?
It's white.
Oh, boy.
Perfect. Shows the sunshine right off of it. I think it's what they advertise about white cars, right?
Shows the sunshine right off of it.
Yep. I'll put that on the poll as well. The white cars just show the sunshine right off of it.
Yep. Okay. Would you say it's
If you wanted the Kelly Blue Book
Fair
value,
condition?
I could have just sent it to you.
Fair condition?
I call
condition?
it good to very good, yeah.
Very good. Excellent?
No, just call it. Just go right down the middle.
We're going to go very good.
Okay.
We'll give it a little polish.
How do we just for that? Do white cars just allow the sun to
shine right off of them?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, let's see. Trade in. No, we don't want the trade in.
No, you're not doing that.
You want to donate your car?
Oh, you want to be poor and get a car? Go somewhere else. I've got a denial in your future.
Looks like your private party range is 19 to 22.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. But looking at the local pricing, they're going for 25, 28.
Idiots.
No. This is a good thing. It's a terrible time to buy a car, which you're trying to do, but it's a good time to sell a car, which you're also trying to do.
Yeah. So just like a home, terrible time to buy a home, good time to sell a home.
Yeah.
So the only problem is both of those are simpatico and go hand in hand.
Tell you what.
Yeah.
Tell you what.
What do you got?
Tell you what I can do here. Out in my garage right now, I got a 1988 Jeep Comanche. If your wife can drive around in that for a couple of months, I'll cut you a good deal on a rental.
We're at months?
Yeah. Because we got to let the bottom fall out of the used car market.
Okay. So it's the long game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You've really sold me on this prospect.
All right.
Hard to not consider this a guarantee almost, right? A lot of people would refer to this as a guarantee.
So any penny over 19 I get for this vehicle. If you are looking to buy a vehicle, just DM us at Steve and Kyle. I'm not going to rake you over the coals. Yes, I am. I'm going to be an honest guy. No, I'm not. I am not going to direct your attention anywhere but the glaring issues on this vehicle.
Right. You're going to point out every mechanical and issue otherwise to make sure this prospective buyer knows everything wrong with it.
Got all 4 hubcaps. Look at that.
Right? How many cards do you see with that?
Brand new wiper blades. I'll even top off the wiper fluid for you. That's the kind of guy I am here at Steve's Discount Auto Mall.
I can see you being that guy. But the only difference would be you would have to wake up every morning and spray your hair down and slick it straight back.
I could do that.
And then grease it.
Yeah, I got to grow it out a little bit longer so I can really, really slick it down. Give myself a nice helmet.
Well, you heard it here first. Here first, folks. Steve's Discount Auto Mega Mall is here to serve at your pleasure.
Yeah. This is the home of the no problem sale. Wink.
No credit? No money? No future in life?
We'll figure something out. That's our tagline, and it's basically Lucky Billy.
Lucky Billy, yeah. Yeah, well, no, we need to reuse the Lucky Billy image because I'm assuming we have, at this point, intellectual property rights to it that we can just use him for everything.
Yeah.
And so, again, it's the Lucky Billy fella with his hands, palms wide open, and the slogan underneath it, we'll figure something out. At Steve's Discount Auto Mega Mall.
Yeah. Home of the no problem deal.
Compared to those other Discount Auto Mega Malls.
I wonder if I'd be a good car salesman.
No.
You don't think?
No.
Why not?
You don't think it takes... I shouldn't say sleaze. That's not the term. It takes this...
I guess I'm glad that you said that I wouldn't be a good one because it takes sleaze. Because it would have been more insulting if you said, yes, it takes sleaze.
I think it's a totally different breed of work. You have to be... You're on, right?
I don't like knowing that I'm bugging someone or annoying somebody. So if they said, no, I'm not interested, I'd be like, okie dokie.
And see you later. You already have the image, one, of being a car salesman, right? Which is never... Yeah. You're already assumed that, a woman walks in, well, the old guy's going to try to take advantage of her because she's...
Toots.
Yeah. And then
looking
you're going to have...
a red convertible?
Then you're also going to have a guy who just comes in and window shops twice a week and never is going to do anything.
Yeah.
And then the know-it-all guy who knows everything about every motor and piston and oil pan on a different truck that you're going to sit there, well, why am I here? What do you need? Are you going to buy it or not? And then you need that extra push. And I don't know that you would have that gear in you at 4:30 on a Friday to really push this low-income family over the hump on buying, the four-door Miata, saying it is good for their five-person family.
Four-door Miata. There's no such thing as the four-door Miata.
I apologize. Four-door Fiesta for their five-person family.
I'd like to give it a try. Like, are there any jobs that you...
Car sales for... Oh, boy.
That you would like to try out for a week? Like, completely risk-free.
Sure.
You could just go in, I think that would be a cool program. I can't imagine any business in the world would be like, give me the guy with no experience who wants to come in and run my, hydraulic press. What could go wrong?
I know. I think police officer.
Oh, God, no.
I mean, I don't want to do it permanently. That's why, do it for a few days, fire a few off in the sky.
That's what, that's
right.
That's how they, that's what they do.
Go shoot beer bottles in the woods.
Do some donuts in the cop car in the elementary school parking
lot. And then just
lot.
get every free cup of coffee at every facility I go to. I've had 6 cups of coffee. I physically can't take anymore. I'm throwing it over my shoulder.
So you're in it for the free coffee.
I'm in it for the free coffee, and I'm in it for firing into the sky.
Right.
2 of them. So I need a partner. So are you in?
I could be convinced to do that.
There's a lot to be said about firing one in the sky.
Yeah.
Doesn't this look dumb? Just looking at me?
Yeah, because if I'm doing it.
Yeah. But you got to get the 2. Yes. Yeah. It's the duels. Yeah.
That's a good point.
But no, it's definitely not car sales. I'll tell you that. That sounds miserable to me.
See, I'd like to do that, but for like a super high-end dealership, like one of the ones that sell like Bugattis or something.
We have a Maserati dealership
We do.
5 miles from here.
Yeah.
No idea why.
I know. I drive by there all the time, and I'm like, well,
you ever thought about pulling it?
All the same cars are still there. I actually know someone who works there.
Really?
Yeah.
Selling?
No, he's not selling. He is not in sales.
Okay.
He's in like service. But
okay.
I would love to. I mean, I see those cars, and like they're not my style. It's not something I'd ever want.
Yeah.
But I'd want to take one for a spin.
Well, no question. Just because how cool they look, and I mean the way it feels under your feet.
So you can
is
probably
a different feel than the murder Jeep.
So you could, it's slightly different. I'd have to like rent a car in order to get a job there because I couldn't pull up in murder Jeep. I'd have to park in the dealership lot next door.
Yes,
because that is the Jeep dealership.
Yeah, what you would have to do is go to the place next door and see if you could test drive like a Dodge Challenger,
right?
And then take that to the parking lot next door. And say, hey, I'm here to test drive the Maserati.
Can I take one of those 8-hour test drives 5 days a week?
Don't you have someone in the industry locally who does spots for that place? Think they can get you in on a free ride?
Who's that?
It's not one of your sister stations. Be a competitor. But all you radio people know each other, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I know who you're talking about.
Yes. I think you could.
Boy, that would be a strange ask.
No, just shoot a text.
Somebody I don't know.
No question. You don't have the number, so actually just shoot a DM.
Okay, slide into the DMs and say, hey.
But again, not for anything nefarious. Hey, think you can get me a test drive on one of the Maseratis?
Yeah. I would love to be a like high end car dealer, just for a week, just to see, because the people that come in that are going to buy a Lamborghini, because you don't get people that are just like, oh, I don't know, it's either this or the Taurus. Yeah,
you're not window shopping the Lamborghini.
Yeah. If you're walking into the dealership, you know that you have the money to buy it because it's like a $300,000 vehicle. So you either have it or you don't. So it would be cool to be in that world for a week where you can like, okay, well, we got to run your credit and then just snoop and be like, oh, wow, this guy makes $5 million a year, just to see what that half lives, or not the half, but what those people live with.
I feel like you're overestimating the foot traffic you would get. I feel like you would be bored.
I don't know.
4 days of that week because
I think,
how many people are coming in? Because
if we're here, none.
Right. And it's not just that it's upscale vehicles, Steve.
Yeah.
It's also because if you're buying an upscale vehicle, what's the population buying an upscale vehicle either used or off the lot? If you're spending $300,000 to $400,000 on a vehicle, you're going to order one with whatever you want. Well, hey, I see they have one on the lot with the black and blue leather, but I wanted the white and red leather seats.
Yeah.
I'm going to order it from, John Lamborghini, and they're going to send it to my house. Johnny for short.
Yeah, I bet that you do get the people that come in and just buy it right off the lot, and it's probably the people that won the lottery or something.
Sure.
Like they just came into the money.
They
don't even know that there's like a whole process or something. They can just be like, I got $600,000.
Yeah.
I want 2 Lamborghinis.
But then you're also probably just as likely to get really ballsy 17-year-old.
Oh yeah, who's
coming in and just wants to drive it.
Yeah, who's trying to say like, my daddy's Bill Gates or something.
Yeah, have you heard of this law firm? He said he's going to buy me one. You have to let me drive her. He'll sue you.
Right. That would be cool though.
Yeah.
I don't know what other jobs. I guess maybe to be like the CEO of some massive company, just so you can see what they actually do to justify their insane salaries.
Yeah, we'll post it that'll be on the poll someday or at some point this week. What job, if any job, you could choose any job for 1 week, what would it be and why? And we can get to some of those responses next week. Before we close up shop.
Do serious answers though.
Yeah, I don't want people,
that interests me.
I would be curious to have that interaction and see what people think.
Yeah.
Before we have a couple things we need to do before we wrap up shop here. Did you want to get to the phones though, quick, Steve, with all of the responses of people who are going to do impressions of you and I this week?
Oh, sure. Here, let me go into our voicemail. Okay, let me play number 1.
Oh, you're a butt. Was that me or you? They didn't say.
Okay, I don't know. Let's go on to number 2. Oh, dick.
Oh, that was you. I think because it was radio. Yeah, no question.
Okay.
But next week though, I just got a response back. I think we're going to talk to our friend Greg Meskel. Season 2 of Fan Controlled Football is kicking off, Steve.
Yeah, I saw that
this very weekend.
Yeah, that Did I see that there was like a major signing in fan controlled football? Johnny Manziel, right?
Well, Manziel was there last time as well.
But he's back.
Josh
right?
Gordon was there last time. Terrell Owens making his comeback.
T.O. He's like 50, right?
He's like 48.
Okay.
Still talks the same amount of trash. So we'll talk to our friend Greg Meskel next week.
That's amazing. I wonder because he's one of those guys that has kept in amazing shape.
Yes.
And insists that
he could still run.
He could still play on an NFL team.
Same as Chad Johnson. They both have that kind of swagger about them and stamina and physical ability.
I would love to see it.
That's Fan Controlled Football League Season 2. That's starting this weekend. We'll talk to Greg next week.
Remind me how exactly that works. These games are played, so it's an actual football game being played, but it's almost played like a video game where the fans have input. Like the fans get to select plays.
Yes.
And if a certain amount of people select a certain play, the team has to run that play, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out or try to remember the specifics as I pull it up here right now. New rules, new format. Fans, you can watch and call the plays in real time on Twitch. They have it, so they must have live polls that come up that you probably have 5 seconds to vote. That's or 10 awesome. Seconds. Condensed version of football 7-on-7. No kicking, no special teams. Yep. You're not going to punt. You're not kicking any field goals. Games are 60 minutes. There's no replay. The clock never stops.
Okay.
And we can get the more definitive, and we probably asked them last time.
We'll talk to Meskel next week.
We'll do that, but we have multiple items to get to. What did you want to get to first?
You want to get to the polls from? Do we have any polls to recap?
We do. Let's skip them because we've got to get to the championship match at Poll Badness 2022.
Oh, of course.
As well as your 1-minute Marvel movie review of Captain America.
Let's wrap up Poll Badness. Yes.
Sorry, take that. Copyrights.
Surprises me every time. Here we go.
If you want to be the best, you got to be a fighter. If you want to be the best, you got to show desire. If you want to be the best, you got to be a fighter. If you want to be the best, you got to show desire. You got to be a fighter because the world is competitive. Play work, eat every day is competitive.
Yes.
Stay away from the sedative.
This is it.
This is it. The champion, the Throat Goblin champion, going to be determined right now. Shout out to our friend Dan Scheich, who listened during the Throat Goblin era when we would play Fighter's Desire and was catching up on the podcast and listened to it at 1.5 to I think 1.8 speed.
So
that's the only way he's ever heard that.
So is he now hearing that at like 4 times? Is he still listening fast?
I think he still listens. I think he probably listens at either 1.0 or
okay.
Probably closer to 1.0 or 1.2. Okay. I don't listen to anything anymore at 1.0.
Wow.
That's
I don't think I wouldn't be able to do it.
I listen to anything at 1.0 and I'm miserable. Okay. I feel like I'm wasting time. Just got to get to the end. Got to get to the end. Quick recap, Steve. Our championship match was set last week, coming out of the patently absurd division. The number 3 seed advanced to the championship match, the Tiresome 2, is Annette's Etsy shop. Just her slamming airplane-sized booze bottles to get away from Steve. And not only did that that did not come out of the patently absurd. That came out of the What the division.
Of course.
And as we mentioned, this thing was a record setter. It officially had the biggest victory in Pole Badness history in the opening round, the Throaty 2. It won with 92.5% of the vote. Long forgotten. The number 6 seed. Is it a prerequisite for a drummer to be a juggler? Nobody will remember their name.
Nope.
Think, here's your participation trophy. See yourself out.
Mm-hmm.
They are in the championship match, Tiresome 2, advancing from the Are They Serious division? Sorry,
sounds right.
I am falling apart at the seams here.
That's all right.
Now, from the Asinine division, the number 2 seed. Would you tune in to the Fruit, Boot, and Shoot at the Olympics? That thing has steamrolled its way through the competition as well. Those two met up. No number 1 seeds.
Oof.
A number 3 seed and a number 2 seed. The voting took place this past week, Steve. It wasn't particularly close.
No?
Who do you think won?
It's got to be the Annette's Etsy shop.
I've been wrong a lot this tournament. Okay, you and I both thought Jimmy the Bangladeshian bullet shooter was a shoe-in for the championship match.
Huge upset.
I really thought we were going to get our niche in the religious community with a repeat religious winner of Where Biblical Time Gifts Sticks with faces carved in them and pairs.
Mm-hmm.
Those all bit the dust to these final 2 competitors.
Okay.
With 70.6% of the audience. You have the fanfare ready for me? The winner.
Stand by.
The winner. The second ever champion of Pole Badness. The number 3 seed is Annette's Etsy shop. Just her slamming airplane-sized booze bottles to get away from Steve. Production. Wait. That one feels like we need to bring it back.
Yeah, a little bit.
Right?
A little bit.
A number 3 seed wins Pole Badness 2022.
You know, we gotta celebrate the correct way with the only way we know how. The song that's not playing right now. There we go. This is basically, what's the song that they, One Shining Moment, right?
Yeah, this is our One Shining Moment. I feel like in the background now with the music has to fade out while you and I read some of the fallen competitors. Taking its spot, Steve, in the pantheon of champions. Were the apostles known for chiseling the word boobs into rocks?
Yeah.
The legion of victors, Steve, is only 2 deep. Only 2 deep. History, though, will run for decades, as people remember fondly, is Annette's Etsy shop.
Yeah.
Just her slamming airplane-sized booze bottles to get away from Steve. Does that one sting at all? Are you okay with that? That's one of the many off-the-cuff things we've joked about and talked about, right?
No, I mean, insinuating that my wife just does anything possible to get away from me.
Yeah, goes into the basement to hammer booze.
No, not insulting in any way.
Well, I'm glad you took it the correct way. Well, it is time. We took a week off. You missed it last week. You had a sick family.
Yeah.
A sick dog.
Everyone's feeling better, though.
I was going to say, do you care to give any update on the family and Mr. Toby?
People are good. Dogs are good. Dogs on some medicine. everyone's feces has pretty much returned to normal. But things are doing good. I appreciate your concern.
Yeah, and I'm just assuming that if any listener gives one damn about you and your family's health and well-being.
Oh, boy.
But you took a week off, so no doubt you skipped date night this week. You told Annette, go cricket some stuff down in the corner.
It was a struggle this week because I started watching it yesterday, and
so you split it up because it's 2.5 hours. It's not a very short venture, right?
Well, when you look at the run times, subtract 15 minutes because
that includes
the credits.
Okay.
So yeah, it was 2 hours and 15 minutes. But I sat down yesterday. Evelyn was taking a nap. I was like, "Oh, perfect
time.
Got nothing to do.
Got your notepad in front of you.
I have my computer.
Your Captain America T-shirt on.
Yep.
You got your shield.
I got 40 minutes into it, and then Disney Plus did that thing where it freezes.
Oh no, like buffering,
and then eventually it just said like error or whatever.
Oh no.
And I think it's because they're doing, for the last couple of weeks, they've been doing a lot of work in our neighborhood running new fiber optic lines or something. Okay. So our internet has been
in and
up, down. So I'm assuming that's what happened. So I got about 45 minutes of it in the afternoon. Then I sat down last night, and after Evelyn was in bed, I'm like, I'm going to watch the remaining hour and a half or so now.
Yeah.
And then that was when Annette was baking cookies in the kitchen, so the blender's running, and I'm like, I can't. I'd have to have this thing turned up so loud that it would no doubt wake the neighbors.
And you're not a minutia guy, so it's not like you're hanging on every word.
I'm trying to.
But that is oppressively loud.
Yeah.
That's not just a quiet conversation or something else going on in the kitchen, like taking something out of the oven or whatever. No, there's no way to keep making batter remotely quiet so you can keep a TV on.
So then I had to pause it upstairs, come downstairs, turn it on there, and I was able to watch the rest of it.
Okay.
And this was 2016.
2016, Steve. I'm very excited. Listen, there's a good chance that this podcast and your relationship with the Town Drunk Rusty hinges on what you're about to say here.
This is one you liked, right? This is This was a big hit for the Marvel universe.
That's right.
Everybody liked it.
Yep. Steve, your review of 2016's Captain America Civil War.
Poor Bucky. He's basically a hitman now.
Yeah.
Sucks. The gang's all back together, though, and they're going to find the biological weapons. They got him. And a dude blows himself up after Wanda mind freaks him a little bit, and a bunch of Wakandans die. A little bit of crossover.
Hey, wink, wink, nod, nod.
Yeah, everyone is tired of the Avengers' vigilante justice, and they just want them to work like under the umbrella of the UN now.
Yeah.
A bomb goes off at the UN meeting, and it kills the king of Wakanda. Bad news.
Yeah.
Bucky did it. Uh-oh. The king's son is trying to avenge his dad's murder. He vows to kill Bucky. Steve shows up at Bucky's place, and just as the authorities show up to kill him, Bucky escapes, but he's attacked by a new guy, Black Panther? What? So Steve wants to save him. Black Panther wants him dead. Conflict. Okay, the scene where they're running through the traffic, ridiculous. One of the most ridiculous scenes I've ever seen.
Oh, time.
Just
You're right there. 30 seconds. You still got 30 seconds left.
Here we go. Gonna get this done. Everyone gets arrested. Cap still doesn't want to sign on with the UN. He is not a fan of that. I'm starting to see where the whole Civil War theme comes in. Infighting.
Yeah.
Bucky is brainwashed and he escapes. He tells Cap and the Falcon that there are more Winter Soldiers. Tony goes to visit Peter Parker. What? Mind blown. I thought there were like a dozen more movies until Spider-Man shows up. Now Hawkeye is back? This is amazing. He wants Wanda to, he helps Wanda escape from Vision. Ant-Man 2? What the The battle is on. It's Cap, Bucky, Ant-Man, Wanda, Hawkeye, and Falcon versus Iron Man, Black Panther, Rhodey, Spider-Man, Black Widow, and Vision. This is so sad to watch, though. It's brother versus brother. Ant-Man gets huge, and he starts throwing planes around. Whoa, Bucky killed Tony's parents? What the hell? That's huge news. The Civil War continues. Turns out that the dude... Oh, man.
Right there.
Turns out that the guy who brainwashed Bucky, is it Zemo?
Yeah, Baron Zemo.
He was just getting revenge for his family being killed when they lifted up the whole city and then dropped it back down. So he turned the Avengers against each other. Mission accomplished. Really smart move in hindsight.
Smart man.
Yeah. Steve and Tony beat the hell out of each other. Then Steve and Bucky peace out. They're like, later. Steve sends Tony a corny apology letter and breaks the news and breaks the others out of the floating prison.
Yeah.
Bucky opts to refreeze himself to protect everyone from him. He does so with the help of Black Panther in Wakanda. And that was Captain America. Civil War.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's so much to unpack.
So much.
So this felt like essentially Avengers 2.5. Right?
I thought the exact same thing. Yeah. I had no idea that everybody appeared in this movie. When that fight scene happens,
on the tarmac,
yes. I had to pause it and be like, wait a minute. This is everyone.
Yeah.
Except Hulk. Hulk's the only one who was not there.
Yeah. So, if you remember, at the end of the Avengers Age of Ultron, he couldn't trust himself. Sure. And so he launched himself into space.
Yeah. So I actually paused it and I was like, wait a minute. And I took notes so I could see who was on what team.
Okay. Well, because you don't want to forget. You'd be an idiot if you forgot that.
Yeah. Vision, he's a creep, right? Like, he has a real creep vibe to him.
Well, so he's literally artificial intelligence. He's now in a synthetic body, right? So he doesn't understand humanity or human culture because he's a robot. So he's trying to...
he's Jarvis, but a person.
Yes. He's trying to acclimate himself to how humans act.
So he's like... making dinner for Wanda, which I thought that was a weird
little foreshadowing.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I thought that relationship seems weird. But I had no idea that Ant-Man would be back. Completely mind blown when Tony is talking to Aunt May and Peter Parker walks in.
Yeah.
He's like. Now I saw a couple of the Spider-Mans back in the day, like the Tobey Maguire ones.
Yep.
I always knew that Peter Parker was like the nerd, but then he's also Spider-Man fighting crime.
Yep.
He's like a real wienery nerd.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Completely like, oh geez, look at me.
Yeah, he's super science nerd with no hope with the ladies or friends, really. His best friend, Harry Osborn, who super wealthy dad, Norman Osborn, turns into the Green Goblin. Don't get me started, Steve. He is absolutely unredeemably dorky.
Yeah. I had no idea that he was in this movie. But I did say...
So I was surprised. I knew, and as being a gigantic Spider-Man fan, once that deal got announced where they were going to cooperate with the character and have him cross over to the Marvel Universe. You're waiting for when that first appearance is going to be and then how they're going to do it. And boy, oh boy, they knocked it out of the park.
There had to be, I would imagine, like standing ovations in the theater when that happened.
It was definitely cheering. It's one of those where you can, the theater erupts. If you're in one of those opening weekend audiences.
Because Tony says something like, I got a guy, or I'm going to go talk to somebody or something.
When he talks to Peter is one thing, right? Because you see Peter Parker, and that's still very cool because the actor they cast, you want to see how he's going to be portrayed.
Yeah.
But when he introduces him to battle and he yells, "Hey, Underoos."
Yes.
And he swings in and starts the Spider-Man quipping and questions and being the kind of gobsmacked kid in the light of these superheroes. Oh.
The same, I thought it was awesome when they open the van door and you see Ant-Man in there.
Yeah.
Scott
Lang.
Scott Lang. Yeah. And he hops out and he's like starstruck and he's like, Captain America. Whoa. Yeah. Huh. Oh, this is great. I know who you are. You're great, too.
Yeah, he sees Sam and apologizes for, beating him up in the last movie because they're trying to shoehorn that one in. So
yeah, that was still weird.
There's a lot going on in this.
A ton. I think that I was up on most of it.
Yep. Now, the ending of this, the Avengers are dead. I want to make sure you understand the ramifications. That note that Steve sends Tony.
Yeah.
That, the Avengers are now dead. They are not what they once were. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the characters still exist, but they are no longer a team following the Civil War conflict.
But are they enemies?
I would say not. No. It seems like they have come to an understanding about the ramifications of the side that each of them chose. And
shocking that Tony chose the side he did, I thought.
Oh, I was Team Tony.
I thought, but I didn't think that he would choose the side that like cooperates with the government, because he was like a rogue guy. He never.
I mean, they did a good job explaining or attempting to explain, hey, I have this experience with my stuff being used on innocent people. Yeah. Look what we just did to innocent people. I liked it. You know, it was a pretty big departure from the comic book storyline. The comic book Civil War storyline, they wanted to force superheroes to register their secret identities.
Okay.
With the government.
Gotcha.
That wouldn't have really worked here because everybody knows Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Sam Wilson. Yep. You know, all of the... Yep. So who are you really looking to unmask and force to identify? So
I cheered when Hawkeye was back.
Hawkeye is such an underrated character.
He's a great character.
He is supposed to be the layman that ties you to your regular world and life in light of, you know,
Married
Wanda's mind-bending stuff. They bring you back to the farm.
Yeah.
They show you the hideout with his wife and his kids that he's only told Natalie about, or Natasha about. And that's a real nice level-headed moment and a down-to-earth few minutes in that movie when you're like, oh, yeah, he's just living on a farm in Missouri, shoots a bow and arrow at supervillains when they come by.
I thought for sure that he was gone, thought he was done. He had retired. So...
The big team up, Captain America Civil War. Steve, I need your official review of Captain America Civil War.
My official review of Captain America Civil War. I think this might have been my favorite one.
Hey! The last two then. I mean, you were a gigantic fan of Ant-Man.
I loved Ant-Man.
This is obviously a totally different feel, right?
It's funny to see Ant-Man interacting with the other ones because he looks like he's wearing a costume,
right?
Whereas the other ones, I mean, sure, they're all wearing costumes, but his looks like he went to the costume store and found it and put it on because it doesn't really fit right. When he gets super huge, I didn't know he could get super huge. Did he do that in Ant-Man?
Giant Man. I don't believe he became Giant Man, but it would make sense if the tech works one way, it would probably work the other. But you hear him say, like, I can't hold it very long, so you need to go and be ready to go when you do.
Yeah.
You mentioned the tease of Black Panther. That's coming up. The way that Marvel introduces their characters, that they kind of incorporate them here. A little sprinkles, right?
I think it's kind of BS that the King died, but Black Panther survived, considering he was closer to the explosion.
Well, you got to make him the king. Somehow, and you got to give him.
Plus, the king is old and frail, so it probably doesn't. It takes a little bit less to knock him out. But man, I seriously got chills during that scene on the tarmac when they were all battling each other.
Yeah, when they all faced off.
I thought it was awesome.
Woo!
And I thought that the little comedic drop-ins, like when, who is it? I think it was when. What do we got here? Look, hello, big girl.
Wow.
How are you?
Thank you. You didn't have to do that.
Oh, boy. Thank you so much.
I took 3 sips. Oh, did you? I took 3 sips of it. And I told Steve it tastes like compost.
Oh, okay.
Thank you very much, dear.
Thank you.
Enjoy your coffee.
Look at this.
Yeah, there's a few moments during that battle, Steve.
Let's cheers. Yeah, like when Natasha and Hawkeye are fighting, and he says something like, we're still friends, right?
Yeah. And then I forget who says it. Wanda tells him that pulling your punches.
Uh-huh.
Because, you're battling friends. What was that?
Oh, that's nice.
What'd you get?
It is a cafe mocha.
Oh.
But we got you the same thing.
Okay. I didn't know.
Hey, take a swig.
Is it too hot?
No, it's actually
I'm very
perfect.
heat sensitive.
Perfect.
Well, I'm excited because I love Civil War. And
I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
Incorporating being able to get the rights to Spider-Man, bringing him in, made it feel more Marvel because Spider-Man is the face of Marvel Comics and Marvel as a whole. So for him to not be a part of it was a weird missing aspect throughout these first 13 movies.
I kind of feel like I'm cheating while I'm watching these because I have the IMDb or the Wikipedia pulled up and I'm following, like if I don't understand something, I'm going back and reading. Because there are so many names, so many characters, so many storylines. Especially now that you're introducing Black Panther and Wakanda and all of the like the difficult, like King, I don't know how to say it, and then whatever Black Panther's name was before he became the king. It's very difficult, but
and which makes this, for my money, all the more amazing that, especially now, these Marvel movies are 28 in or whatever it is, and they're still making as much money. These aren't movies you jump into, for the most part.
No.
You shouldn't. You can, and a lot of people probably do because it's an event. I'm that way too with certain movies where, hey, it's an event movie. I just want to be a part of it and see what all the fuss is about. But if you jump into, how would you have felt? It might be hard to, say it, speak it out loud. If you had not seen Iron Man 2, Avengers 2, all the Thors.
It doesn't make sense.
If you went and just saw Captain America Civil War, you would feel blind.
Nothing makes sense.
Yeah.
Nothing would make sense at all. It would just be all of these brand new characters to me.
Yeah. Ooh, that is. I'm so happy that you liked it.
Do you think that this is going to do anything to rebuild the relationship that is no doubt fractured with the town drunk Rusty?
I hope so. Him and I had agreed to this. The podcast and relationship were on the line this week. Mm-hmm. Not to this degree, but next week, another good one coming up.
What do we got? What am I on the hook for next week?
The inaugural appearance. Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange.
Okay. Doctor Strange. I'm worried about this.
So it's Earthbound.
Okay.
But it's magic.
I don't mind that because I like Wanda.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that she can do the whole like look like she's raving with the glow sticks, and then bam.
Yeah,
so I don't mind that.
This is kind of a hearkening back to earlier Marvel because this is an origin story. Even Ant-Man wasn't really an origin story. It was Scott Lang becoming Ant-Man.
Yeah,
but Ant-Man, Hank Pym was already Ant-Man.
Mm-hmm.
So the suit already existed. Right. Everything existed.
He just became.
Yeah. The last origin story you watched was Captain America.
Yeah.
So this is that.
I think
you see Doctor Strange become what he is, experience his new powers. I loved it. I have not seen it since 2016.
You're gonna watch it too?
I'm very excited to catch up on this with you.
So I have a question about, or actually not really a question, but
sure.
I think that Captain America is my favorite, my new favorite. For the last 6 movies, I would have said that it was Iron Man.
Okay.
I like the Tony Stark character, but I feel, I don't know, in the last 2 movies, I feel like he's definitely changed. He's a different character now. He's growing up. He is more mature. He's making the right decisions as opposed to the impulsive decisions that he used to make that I think made him Iron Man. Like, I can do whatever I want. I'm going to build this suit. Screw you, government. Screw you, police. But now he's settling down a bit as a character. I don't like that as much. I still like the character, but
I'm reading through the plot quick for Doctor Strange, and I am nervous.
Did they go to space?
I don't know that you're going to like it.
There's Doctor Strange? So is he another Hydra experiment?
No, he's a Sorcerer Supreme, Steve. Don't sound stupid. I mean, honestly.
The Sorcerer Supreme.
Right. Yeah. He has to deal with the Ancient One. He starts as a doctor. Listen, you're going to find this all out this week. When I text you on Wednesday, you ignore it till Friday, and then you watch it Friday night.
Right. No. Watching it this week. This weekend.
His head base is the Sanctum Sanctorum.
What?
Deals with the Ancient One.
Who's the
Dormammu, the Dark Dimension.
Marmamu?
Any of these things make you more excited to watch it?
Maramamu, the Dark...
Dormammu. We've got the Ancient Dimension and the Dark Dimension. There's so much, Steve.
I'm worried. I'm very worried.
I mean, we haven't even talked about the powers of his cloak of levitation. So.
Levitation cloak sounds cool. I like that.
We'll get that next week, along with a quick chat with our friend Greg Meskel. See how his non-Olympics life has been going as he endeavors into Season 2 of Fan Control Football.
Still waiting for those Olympic rubbers you said you'd send us.
We were either getting a bone box, which I believe is what it was referred to as, the cardboard box, or Olympics-branded condoms.
Real quick, do we get to the one thing that we have here?
Oh, yeah, very quick.
Hey,
folks, viewer mail time again. Oh, here's one from Sally, age 14. Dear Pig.
Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. All right, what do we got over there? That one looks familiar.
You got the other sound for me, Steve?
yes.
Because it is. It comes every month. And I told you last week it was a week too early for it. Mm-hmm. It's time. It is Money Day.
All right.
We'll rip this thing open. This is from our friends down at the Bill Payment Processing Center in Sioux Falls. Sent directly to you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, baby. And as expected.
Do I have to start claiming this on my...
Billy has come through again, Steve.
Stacks of cash?
Stacks of cash, stacks of dollars. Billy with the $5 monthly contribution.
Thank you, Billy.
Towards the funny that we provide.
We got to send him something. Because this is like Patreon, but without the Patreon.
Yeah, we should send him some
Isn't he
merch.
supposed to get a something?
Yeah.
Like something big?
Yeah, we can send him some merch from our own store. So then we'll buy it. Lose money, and then we'll get, the 15 cents we get for sending him something.
What we have to do is go in, lower the price to the lowest it can possibly be, buy it, and then jack the price back
Somehow buy it at a loss, so we're costing ourselves double, but we don't think so.
Right. Billy, send us your T-shirt size.
That's right.
We got to reach out to him and get that.
But that'll be next week. We will, again, talk to Greg, get Steve's review on Doctor Strange.
Apologies to Robert.
And again, another final congratulations. The number 3 seed is Annette's Etsy shop. Just her slamming airplane-sized booze bottles to get away from Steve. Your second ever Pull Badness champion.
Mm-hmm. So if you're going to be in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, later, if you're listening to this podcast right when it came out, later this week.
Yes.
Be sure to wear your merch.
Please.
Loud and proud. Wave that sign if you're the one that has the Kyle bobblehead. Happy to see you.
Yeah, the fat head should be in Jeff Green's hands, at least for the morning show. Right. If you're going to the night show and you'd be willing to take the fat head with you, please message us. We are still looking for takers for the Portland, Maine show on May 6th.
Yeah.
The Green Bay, Wisconsin show on June 17th. Those are less dire. Portland, Maine, well, we're kind of up against it there. If you're going to be at the Portland, Maine live show, morning or night show, please DM us on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, and we will get that fat head too. The only responsibility, when you're done with it, we tell you where to ship it next.
Put it in the mail. Real easy. At Stephen Kyle, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. A bunch of polls went up today.
Yes, they did.
And probably a video too. I took a video of you trying the...
That's right, that'll go up.
Trying the tea for the first time.
God, horrific.
How's the
that
mocha?
Cafe Mocha is like a chocolate
I know,
delight,
it's amazing,
man.
right?
Oh, it's not. Is that coffee? Yeah, right.
All right, we'll talk to you next week. See ya.